I'm Marcus Dixon with Gold Derby, and we are here with Tyson Fountaine, department head makeup artist on FX on Hulu's American Horror Stories. And huge congratulations, Tyson, on your Emmy nomination this year. Tell us about that morning. How did you find out the good news?
I found out from a friend who was in Costa Rica who happened to check. He was actually one of the members on my team, and he texted me right away.
And last year, you were actually nominated for American Horror Stories and for Legendary, and you won for Legendary. What was that whole Emmy experience like? I'm assuming you did go to the ceremony.
I did. It was interesting because they split the creative arts into two separate nights. So the first night was when they announced the winning for Legendary. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is all about. And so what happened is we went the first night for that, and then the second night was for the nomination for American Horror Stories. And but we had already found out that we won for Legendary, so it kind of lost a little bit of that I don't know, pizzazz, like, you know, that anticipation. And then, you know, the winner is I'm not complaining though. I'm still happy I won the Emmy for that, but it was because it was the I guess judged category, the juried category.
Yeah, some of them are juried. I'm not sure how they pick which ones get to be juried or not. They have all these different rules for the different categories.
Yes.
And this year, you're nominated in the category of Best Contemporary Makeup Non-Prosthetic for the episode Bloody Mary. And for anyone that doesn't know, you actually have to choose an episode from the season to show to voters. Can you talk about that process? How easy or hard was it for you to pick this one?
It was, I want to say it was easy because I kind of already knew going in that that's just because of the magic of that whole episode. But it was pretty difficult in the fact that we had so many episodes to choose from because we're an anthology series. And, you know, we ranged from 1960s makeups to 17th century, 18th century, you know, present day. So there was a lot all over the place of things that I could have gone with character period or contemporary. And I just felt like the amount of makeup we had in Bloody Mary was more than the rest of the episodes. And then I felt like we had a good chance. One, because the cast is incredible. Two, the makeups I thought were really nice. And we had the Bloody Mary, you know, makeup as well. So it just felt like it was an easy choice in that we had a lot of makeups in that one episode.
And it featured the Dominique Jackson from Pose as the infamous entity that haunts mirrors. And let's just start by talking about her makeup. And I remember seeing her in images and posters before the episode even aired. So you must have been very proud of your work on her specifically.
Yes, definitely. First of all, Dominique is amazing to work with. She was up for anything, and she's just an incredible soul. I love her. She was great to work with. Deciding, you know, we did a couple makeup tests with her makeup, and I knew that I wanted to make her scary but beautiful at the same time. So there was this balance of trying to make her look a little, you know, devious and haunting, and then beautiful, just to kind of lure people in. It was and that, again, that's not a hard thing because Dominique is beautiful. So, you know, just putting anything on her, but wanting to keep her in that, I did, you know, some shadowing, dark tones, give her a little bit of, you know, frown in the center, blackened her eyes, and then we popped in contact lenses that were kind of milky, so it gave a more haunting feel to the makeup. I used a reflective, iridescent pigment, so when in certain light and angles, it melted into her skin tone because it had a yellow tone to it. And then when she moved in other tones, it gave a red reflection, you know, just kind of to symbolize the blood and also keeping it very high fashion and like a little bit of a grunge runway. I had gloss on her eyelids. Yeah, and then her fingers were gold leafed, and then we had metal gold nails on top of that. And then I, colored the inside of her hands just to give like a little more elongation to the fingers, a little more creepiness.
Yeah, I feel like she was always doing the
Yeah.
hand motions. And it's funny when you think of makeup, a lay person like myself, I just think of the face. It doesn't occur to me that you are also, in control of the whole body makeup as
Oh
well.
yeah, like we went all the way down her neck into, whatever anything showed, I wanted to have just kind of a sunken in hollowness into the skin, and then
And
reflective.
how close does your department work with some of the other departments, like the hair and the costumes? Is it
The,
all kind of just all together?
yeah, the hair team on the show is incredible. Valerie Jackson is an amazing artist, and she and I work very similar to each other, and in that we are very serious about our work, and we think about everything about the character and details that maybe not everyone would think about. But she's incredible, and we worked together in her creating the big hair. I'm not sure exactly the what she was going for, but she wanted the shape that we ended up with, which was incredible. And costumes had also been very closely intertwined with us as well. So they had an idea of what they wanted her to look like. We had our ideas, and so we kind of melded them together. And I think we came up with a pretty beautiful character.
And I love there's this flashback scene where we see Bloody Mary as a slave down in the basement, and she sees her reflection in the mirror, and she says, I haven't seen my own face in years, and there's tears streaming down her cheeks. You also created the tears. How do you go about doing that?
I have to say that was all Dominique. Dominique brought those tears up, and she cried.
Really?
Incredible. Wow. Yes. I didn't have to put anything in her eyes, no eye drops. She on the spot. Incredible.
Well, Dominique, I apologize for saying that. I apologize for thinking it was makeup, because it was just such a beautiful scene. And
yeah, I mean, the sweat and the dirt and all of that was me, but the acting and the crying and the emotion was all Dominique.
And at the very end of the episode, we have Quvenzhané Wallis takes over as Bloody Mary. And did you is it basically the exact same look from one Bloody Mary to the next, or were there any details that were changed?
No details really changed. I did the same makeup on Quvenzhané alongside with the artist that I had with her, Ron Pipes. We worked on the look together. So I took Dominique's makeup, and then I applied exact everything, same product, same, the same way that I had done Dominique's, we did on Quvenzhané. So she would look like her, and just, in her own style. Of course, they have different faces, so we wanted to make it as close to each other as possible. And I know some people even posted and criticized that the CG didn't look that good, on Quvenzhané, but it was funny because it wasn't, they thought we superimposed her face onto her. It was I don't know, but no, it was all makeup.
Another episode I wanted to talk about is the Dollhouse season 2 premiere. There's this amazing twist regarding Dennis O'Hare's character at the end, and throughout the episode, all of the doll face makeup, it looked so authentic. How did you pull that off?
The actual doll faces were created by Jason Hamer, so they were actual masks that went onto their face, and so we created the period. We had to try to keep it looking in a 1960s fashion, so we eyebrows were all shaped to be in that period. and we had as little as possible makeup because they've been held captive, and they're always behind these masks. So we felt how would they put makeup on and off, and so we just had to keep the element like very simplified and still give a nod to the period of 1960s. So the masks were done by Jason Hamer and his effects team, and yeah, so we really were just the beauty makeup behind all of that and the period makeup.
And Dennis O'Hare is such a trooper. He's been in so many different seasons of Horror Story through the years. What's it like working with him?
He's just an absolute professional. He was amazing to work with, and very, very detailed in knowing what his character would do or think, or so we trimmed his mustache very perfectly to a certain style that he really gravitated towards for this character, and we tried to keep it different from some of his other characters, because some of his other characters have facial hair, so we wanted it to be different. And so we gave him a little bit of a rosy cheek, and that was kind of something he and I worked on together, deciding that because he works in this doll factory, that he would maybe want to start kind of looking like a doll in a way. So we put a little rosy cheek on him, and also because he's sick throughout, he's getting sicker, so it's kind of like this this way to make him look healthier and not sickly. So it was kind of like I don't know, it's just an interesting little thing that no one might not have noticed, but it's there.
And what can you tell us about the Judith Light episode, Facelift? She's just absolutely phenomenal. I'm so happy she's nominated this year for a Poker Face. She's
incredible. I mean, that's the thing. I love working on this show because we're with amazing talent. These actors are incredible, and Judith Light is like an icon. I can't say enough nice things about her, and really all of the cast that we've had come in contact with. But she just a professional and sweetheart, and I can't. She's a phenomenal. I mean, she did some of her own stunts. She was running and falling in the sewer pipe, and just an incredible actress. And I hope she wins. She's phenomenal.
How challenging is it to work on an anthology show like this, where every episode is essentially a movie? You got a new cast, a new plot. I mean, talk about that aspect.
Working on an anthology series, this one in particular, was very difficult. And we had a new cast, new storyline, and so when we're shooting one episode, during that week we're also prepping and doing photo tests and makeup tests on the next cast and trying to get that situated. So there's a constant wheel of work and character development, and going from one period, like 1960s was our first episode, to present day, and then back to 17th century, and then back to and then flashbacks to 19th. It was just all over the place. So there was a lot. It's super difficult, long hours, but for someone like myself who has ADD, it was incredible, because I was loving the fact that there was a constantly changing storyline and cast. It just kept it fresh and interesting.
I'm a huge fan of TV theme songs and American Horror Stories. The fact that you guys have an original design, the main title design for every single episode, is something that I just love to, I just want to see. I will rewatch the theme song over and over and over, because each one is so different and fun and original. So I just wanted to thank you guys for giving us a new theme song each week.
I wish I had part of that. That's not even me, but that's one of my favorite things about it as well. It's so interesting.
Well, congrats again on your Emmy nomination, and
Thank you.
best of luck at the ceremony.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.